All right, welcome back. We're talking about the Steelers. First game coming up against the Buccaneers Friday. You'll see it on KDKA-TV. Depth chart came out, and not surprisingly, Mike Tomlin likes to prefer veterans. So you have Dan Moore, Andrew, over Broderick Jones. You also have a situation where Benton's behind Montrevious Adam and Joey Porter Jr. behind Patrick Peterson. Do you think that'll be the way it starts the season?
In one of those cases, no. I would be stunned if Porter doesn't start. I saw Shandon Sullivan's name listed as a starter. That guy, no way. I mean, Porter's getting matched up against George Pickens. That's because Tomlin's trying to get him ready for the regular season. The Jones-Moore thing, I don't know what to make of it. I mean, you guys are there a lot more than I am. It seems like Jones in the padded practices has shown that he's up for the challenge. Dan Moore was one of the worst offensive tackles in the NFL last year. That's not an opinion. That's what the people that measure these things say. Win rate of tackle, run blocking, pass blocking was not very good.
7 sacks allowed.
Yes, that's why it's time for Broderick Jones to be the starter from day one.
And we haven't been a preseason game yet. It's still August, 6th right now. There's still plenty of time. I don't think I don't see the most optimistic, but most people, I think the over-under would have been set on draft day for when Broderick Jones would pass Dan Moore. I don't think we said past August 6th, probably after the first preseason game. We'll see how that plays out. I don't know. I think Dan Moore's had a good summer and a good offseason. That's part of it. Broderick Jones, without pad, it's really hard to measure, and he even admits himself that he had trouble with even like the Nick Herbigs of the world, the quicker guys. But without pads, that doesn't mean it's going to happen in the game. The quicker guys have sort of the advantage. So I'm not too surprised by that at this point, but I still we'll see what happens on September 10th.
Of course, Herbig has done that to a lot of people during camp, especially on back-on-backers drills. Listen, I think the rewarding Dan Moore as being the incumbent, and the guy worked hard. Like his teammates just keep lauding how he came into shape and how his attitude is and how he keeps fighting. So, and you have plenty of time. I don't think it's a big issue that you name.
Well, then have him compete.
And Joey's going to play.
Well, then have him compete at right tackle.
He is. He's going over there a lot.
I mean, why is it a foregone conclusion that Chooks is the starter?
Because they paid him.
Okay, but you're allowed to cut guys who don't live up to that price. Am I right about that?
Yeah.
Pro Football Focus had him rated as the 64th tackle last year, Chooks. There's only 64 starting tackles in the NFL, so you can make the argument he was one of the worst guys.
But you're taking Moore, who you just said did not have big numbers that way, and moving him over there. I think it's a hard thing to do right off the bat. I think, though, eventually he could be a swing guy. There's nothing wrong with that. They need guys like that.
And Andrew, I think they're buoyed by the last couple of games last year. They think that group came together and that they had Sam.
Well, then why draft Broderick Jones 14th then?
I'm not saying that they're completely comfortable. I'm just saying that they saw improvement in these guys.
Yeah, and sign Sam Malu.
but no, Joey Porter Jr. is one of the 3 best cornerbacks in the team. It's a matter of finding who can play the slot or nickel. That's the issue. Is he's not going to do that, of course. Well, Patrick Peterson, can he be the nickel guy? That's sort of up for debate. But I think Porter's definitely a better defensive back.
Jeff, I want to ask you about this week. Now, everybody talks about playing time, what to do, who should play, who shouldn't play. Veterans don't need to play, but does Kenny Pickett need to play, and if so, how much?
I think only the starters should play for your benefit.
I need
you don't
them.
have to go
I don't
through
want future bartenders of America.
Names.
Again, in the fourth
no,
quarter.
Kenny Pickett should not be on the field in this first game. No,
not at all.
No.
How much overall then, the preseason
overall? I think a couple of snaps in the second game. But
I think it'll be more than that. I think it'll be a half in the second game.
I don't think
he's
the Ben Roethlisberger. I mean, if you go by, I know practice and games are totally different, so it's comparing apples and oranges, but Ben always did the one practice, half practice, practice off. Pickett's been every day. He hasn't taken any. Trubisky took a practice off, and Pickett
Mason
hasn't.
took one today.
Okay, so there you go. So I think they're young enough. We'll see. I think they'll play him. Mike Tomlin likes to play people in preseason. He'll play maybe only a drive or two, but I think he'll play Friday.
Does he need to play, Andrew?
I want to see him play, yeah. I think does he need to play? I would say it depends who's out there with him. I mean, if we're going to give him George Pickens and Deontay Johnson in the starting offensive line for a series, I do want him to play.
Right.
But is Tomlin ready to commit to all 11 guys? I do think they need to hit the ground running. I don't want to see another slow start offensively like last year, where the QB has to get benched in the 4th game and they lead the league in 3 and out. So, yes, I want to see the first-team offense out there for one possession. One. Give me all the guys. Maybe bench Sayamalu.
Do you want Broderick Jones? Or you want the second-string tackle?
I want most of the guys. Not Najee Harris either, because he got hurt last year.
I have a short amount of time. I want to ask you about Jalen Warren. Last year, 77 carries. I would expect that's going to go up just because he proved that he can handle it. Do you expect him? I don't think Najee will play in this game. Jalen Warren over the course of the season, over and under 77 attempts since he had it last year.
Higher, absolutely higher.
Okay.
I'd say so too. Yeah, definitely. And Anthony McFarland has actually looks like he might have a role in the offense.
If he can play special teams. If he can play special teams.
You're shaking your head, but he's looked very good. Yeah. He has. In 4th year, maybe it's time.
Sure. No, I think Jaylen Warren's going to be their best running back by the end of the season. I think Jaylen Warren's a better player than Najee Harris. He does something that Harris can't do. He goes for long runs.
That's true.
He's an explosive back.
Harris is the biggest issue.
And he also just
got to
planted
break one every
people
once in a
too,
while.
and he's a very good. He understands what it takes to be a blitz pickup kind of guy.
We got on Roberts' backs on backers was awesome.
Yeah, too bad we can't show that. Anyway, we got to go to a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about what's happening in college football and whether or not Pitt should be concerned. That's next, right here on the #1 Cochran Sports Showdown.